Now, in the last video I showed you how to use hdparm, the command in Linux, to wipe a disk, and we set it up, we had to set the password and things like that, where we did not have to unfreeze the disk. Now, most disks are frozen, unless they're unfrozen, and it turns out that with hot swappable disks, they come in unfrozen. So what I did was rebooted the system with the disk still plugged in, and it came up, we'll have a look, it came up with the disk frozen, which is normal. Right, we are. So SDB is now frozen, and the way to unfreeze it is to sleep the computer, and we'll do that in this little script. It's going to be available in the comments, so don't worry about it. And we're going to embellish it. We're going to continue developing the script. This is just the first version. So the first thing it's going to do is check whether it actually supports Secure Erase, and there are several reasons it might not. One is being a RAID, but the other one is it could be something like an MMC or some other disk format. This only works with HDTEST at the moment. We'll get onto the other sorts of disks later. Also, if it checks if the disk is locked, because if it is locked, that's probably an aborted wipe using this script, and what it will do is assume that the password is password. That's the one I usually use. You can use anything, including capitals PASSWD, like we did before. I use password. So it's assuming that it's locked due to some sort of failed wipe, and it will try and unlock it. Then the next thing it'll do is check if it's frozen, and the logic here is a little bit backwards. So if it's frozen, it needs to be unfrozen, and if it is not frozen, then it's fine. So it's checking if the word, it looks for the line containing frozen, and then sees if it's got a not in it, and if it isn't not frozen, then it won't find it and you get 0. And sleep it. It will actually try and do this several times, but to be honest, doing it once is enough. If it doesn't unfreeze after a sleep, there's something wrong with the BIOS, and I'll show you the sorts of things that can go wrong with the BIOS, but usually I'm afraid to say it's a BIOS upgrade, or remove the disk and plug it into a system that is up to speed. However, this one is going to go round sleeping the system till it comes good, and quite honestly, best thing you can do is just switch it off after a couple of sleeps. It'll then check if enhanced is available, and it will tell you, if it is, and give you an estimate of how long it's going to take to erase. So that's all there is to this script. So we'll try and run it. I'm going to have to use root, I'm afraid. And it tells you the sort of things you need to know, that the disk, oh, by the way, the vendor is not something that works terribly well with hdparm, so we've got a strange vendor here, which is ATA, Advanced Terminal Adapter. But the only thing that is useful is the model and the serial number, so you double check that and verify the size. It's saying the disk is not locked, the disk is frozen, so a sleep is required. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to try and unfreeze it, and so we say yes. There's the disk gone to sleep. I'm sorry, the screen's gone blank. Okay, here it comes back. and then it, as I say, the script checks again and finds that, true enough, the disk is now not frozen. It announces that it supports Secure Erase and gives you the estimates for the time, which we saw in hdparm-I, which is 2 minutes for a Secure Erase. So that's the first simple little script, and we'll enhance that. This is version 2 of the script, and basically up until here is exactly the same, and what I've done is added this section which sets the password and actually does the Secure Erase there, and then tells you how long it took. So let's run that one. Now notice that once the disk is unfrozen, it stays unfrozen. So the disk is not frozen, still supports Secure Erase, and sets the password, started and finished. And notice it took 3 seconds, not the 2 minutes that it estimated. Incidentally, when it says 58 minutes, it actually takes about half that too. So there's a wipe script, which we will now embellish a little further. So this version now will ask you if you actually want to use enhanced Secure Erase or not just assume you don't, and continues as before. So we could try that one. Okay, it's going to ask you, use enhanced Secure Erase. The default's no, so it'll just go off, and a few seconds later it'll come back wiped.